So in coming out to the boat, I found that 3 of our dock lines had snapped. Now they all snapped in the middle, which means that they didn't snap from chafe, they snapped from being overstrained. So that's horrible and sucks in all the ways. So I'm going to be replacing them, and I'm also going to be upsizing them because the lines that I put on the boat are the minimum size for the size of this boat. It's not the right size, it's the minimum. And if you know anything about me, I don't like to do the minimum. But I figured it's just going to stay in a slip. It's a light boat. Why not? And then, if we need to, we can get better ones later. Well, now we need to, and now we're going to get better ones.
We've got big plans for the small boat. We're learning as we go. So come along, we'll teach you stuff as we go building Windpuff.
Now the best line for dock lines is the 3-lay. The one that's, wrapped up and twisted like this guy. That's the one that you want to be using because it has the most stretch. It has about 18% stretch, where the pretty premium dock lines that you can buy, those guys have very little stretch. It's like 5 to 8%. So that's why then they sell all these things like shock absorbers and all those gizmos and gadgets to help give you the stretch that you want to have. That way the boat doesn't snap in the slip when the line goes tight. So rather than getting the wrong line and then adding all these extras, you should really just get the right line. One that has all that stretch naturally built into it. Now, the reason you want polyester instead of nylon is it's better. So nylon's the one that they sell like crazy in the US because everyone loves nylon here. The problem with nylon is when it gets wet, its friction increases on itself. And then the friction increases, the temperature rises, and then it snaps, which is literally what we're having happen here. We had a lot of rain, we had a lot of wind, and we had a lot of broken lines. Now, this also plays in when you're getting an anchor rod. Everyone uses nylon rope for their anchor rod because that's what they sell here in the States. And it's not good because you're literally putting it in water. So it's going to build up more temperature in there because of the friction increase. And then it's going to snap on you. So what you really want to use is polyester, 3-lay polyester. They sell it in the US, you just have to special order it. Now in Wisdom, we have polyester. And we bought it off the shelf because we bought it over in Europe, where they don't have nylon. They only have polyester 3-lay. So it was kind of a no-brainer. It was easy to do. But it's the situation. We're in the States, and the States loves its nylon, and that's the one that we have available to buy right now. So that's the one we're going to be buying. But if you have time to order it and wait for it to come in, always buy 3-lay polyester for your boat. The lines are breaking midway, so it's not because of chafe, it's not because of a bad fair lead. Honestly, the boat doesn't have any fair leads. The stuff just like goes over hard edges. So that's where you'd expect it to break, but it's breaking in the middle of the line, and that means that it's breaking from being overstressed. Now, onto the actual project that I came out here early to work on. We're going to be glassing the bulkhead, I keep calling them bulkheads. We're going to be glassing the bulwarks to the deck with proper tabbing and everything. We're going to build it up really, really strong. And actually, after it's done, then we can relocate the cleats to the bulwarks because they're going to be rock solid. And that'll also help with the dockline situation because instead of the ropes just going over a bulwark, like not led in the ideal ways, and also this boat has no spring cleats, so there's no midship cleat on this boat. So like the dock lines aren't set up ideally, and we are going to be making it have the ideal deck cleat set up, but we need these bulwarks first because that's where they're going to be mounted. So we're going to get the bulwarks glassed up. I want to put 10 layers of glass down, all at one time. That way they have a primary bond between them. The whole mass cures up as one single unit. Now I'm going to be doing things differently from how I normally do it. So when you guys watch me work with fiberglass, I'm using a chip brush and I'm just painting away. And I just rub out the bubbles with the brush because it's good enough when you're doing one layer. It's not worth the hassle to get out the bubble roller and, you know, squeeze out all the bubbles because it's not much to it. I mean, you're doing one single layer of glass. You can just add more resin and push the bubble away with the brush. But since we're going to be doing 10 layers all at once, bubbles can be in there and the brush can't get them out. And that's where the bubble roller comes in. So it's going to squeeze out the excess resin. Like, it's going to make it really, really nice. So it'll squeeze out the extra resin, it'll squeeze out any bubbles, and it's just going to leave one solid, strong mass that's just going to cure. So I'm just very excited for this day. We got a bunch of stuff from Total Boat. We got more cloth. We got the 1708. We got 5 gallons of resin. I'm using laminating resin because that's what you should be using for a project this size. Polyester laminating resin. When you're all done and you're finished with stuff, then you paint on a coat of the finishing resin. Say this was the end and I'm done building the whole boat. I'd do all my layers in laminating resin, and then the last layer, I'd put that one on with finishing resin. That one has more wax in it, which comes to the surface, forms an air bond, or an air block, and stops the air from getting in, and then the polyester will then fully cure. When you're doing laminating resin, it doesn't have that extra wax in it, so then it doesn't fully cure. So then it's really great when you're continuing to build because you can keep layering on from there. It's not as good of a bond as if you laid up all the glass in one go, which is what we're trying to do here today, but it is a very good bond compared to if you're bonding onto finished fiberglass. You then have to sand it and grind it to give it more tooth. That way you get more mechanical retention because you're not going to get that much of a chemical bond onto finished cured fiberglass.
Take a train ride just to see you. Ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you, 'cause you're my home away from home, away from home, away from being alone. I did the same just for you. You don't know how much I love you, 'cause you're my home away from home, away from home, away from being alone.
Thanks for watching this episode of Sailing Wisdom. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next Rigging Doctor episode. And if you're interested in even more Rigging Doctor awesomeness, consider becoming a patron to see all of our extras. Can't wait to see you next time as you join us out here on the high seas.